Hello everyone, this is Bitcoin Sofia, and today I'm gonna discuss the different types of wallets where you can store your currency. There are 5 main categories that I can point at the moment of wallets. There are the wallets focused on security, the wallets focused on privacy, the wallets focused on being lightweight and not consuming a lot of resources on your machine, the wallets providing you the most flexibility with your money, giving you the most options to use the system, and lastly, the wallets with the best user experiences. Let's start with the wallets focusing on privacy. The best ever privacy wallet is the one that doesn't exist anywhere, neither in software nor physically. The best option is to have a private key on a piece of paper in a box buried underground in the forest where nobody would ever find it. That is the most private way to store Bitcoin. Now, even then, you have some problems. You have to actually create the paper wallet on a computer that has never touched the internet. You have to make sure that it was created properly. But as long as you start touching the money, as long as you start spending it, your privacy is gone. At least for the moment, considering how it currently works. Another good way of having coins privately is to buy a paper wallet from a miner, because then these coins would not have any history. But this is something that most people don't need to consider ever. Next, there are the wallets focused on security, and the first one that I will recommend is, of course, any type of hardware wallet. If you care about security, if you're working with real amounts of money and not with your pocket change, get a hardware wallet. It is just mandatory. Now, there are other options of security wallets, but I would not recommend them when they're competing with a hardware wallet. Then let's talk about the types of wallets that give you the most features, the most options to use the blockchain. And for the moment, these are, of course, the blockchain nodes. In Bitcoin, this is the Bitcoin Core node. In Bitcoin Cash, these are nodes like Bitcoin ABC, Bitcoin Unlimited, and so on. They have not just the options to use wallets regularly, but also the options to write your customized scripts and in basics do whatever you want, as long as it's legal in the sense, as long as it's valid in the blockchain sense. Then there is the SPV wallet, or Simplified Payment Verification. The SPV wallet is a wallet where you can check if you received money or if you sent money without downloading the full blockchain, or even without downloading the full block in which your transaction was confirmed. This is useful because it allows small computers like Raspberries or others, or even smartphones that are not directly connected to any type of Wi-Fi, to use the Bitcoin network without problems. Are they as secure as the other nodes? Yes, however, they're not as private, because when you are requesting to see if there are money in your account, you need to tell other nodes what your account is. Now, there are ways around this. There are ways to not share your account information completely. Instead, you use a clever scheme where you mask your account with a bunch of others and you send a bigger request than you actually need. This works for most of the cases, and until it gets hacked, I don't see a reason not to use this scheme. After white notes, there is the last type of wallet that I believe would come to be the most useful one in the coming years. And this is the wallet focused on user experience. There are two schools of thought when considering making this wallet. One is the minimalist wallet, and the other is the wallet with extra features. I actually prefer the second one. Let me first explain. The minimalist wallet is a wallet where you can only do a minimal amount of stuff with your money, and basically a wallet that only has 4 or 5 buttons. A wallet where you don't have the ability to screw things up. You simply receive money and send money. Maybe you can see your history, but that's basically it. These wallets don't bother people with stuff like private keys or mnemonic words, except if these people are tech savvy enough to understand what that means. But for most people, they would never do that, and they would just play with pocket money. And some of these wallets would be good enough for such cases. Some of these wallets would not even store the private key of the user. Some of these wallets would actually be connected to a central server that stores all the Bitcoin. Now, while this model is usually frowned upon in the blockchain space, it does work very well for clients who are not familiar with private key security. If you give the private key to all of the people who have never ever had to have a secure password, what do you think would happen? Half of them would lose it, and half of them would get really, really disappointed. Instead, having a centralized solution for clients who don't know what they're doing yet is the much safer approach, I believe. Now, the other option, other than the minimalist approach, is, I would call it the maximalist approach. That is when you have a wallet where you don't just get money and receive money, but you can also directly send to certain services. And I have a very clear example of that type of wallet. I will show it on that side of the screen over here, and I want you to look carefully. This is the coins.ph wallet. This is a localized wallet. That means while you can use it even if you're not from that country, and the country is the Philippines, while you can use it even outside of the Philippines, it doesn't really make sense. However, if you are in the Philippines, this is the best wallet that you can have. Now, it does not give you your private key. It is a centralized wallet, or at least it behaves like one, and it doesn't provide you with the same amount of privacy and security. However, most clients never have to care about that. Look at these screenshots. This wallet is actually quite complex. It provides different features, and some of these features are valid for some locations in the Philippines and not in other locations. Some of these features are about getting some more load on your phone, about paying for some extra minutes or megabytes. Some of them are for paying your bills. Some of them are for paying for services. Some of them are for sending money through a company that does money transfers. That means it is possible to send Bitcoin and the other person to receive fiat. This type of solution, while it is not at all private and not at all decentralized, works much, much better for people who do not care about privacy and who do not care about decentralization. Giving them this type of wallet would allow them to actually do stuff with their Bitcoin. Now, this wallet supports multiple currencies. I think they were Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin. I'm not sure about if the third was Litecoin or some other. That is not the important part. The important part is how easy it is to actually take your Bitcoin and do stuff with it. That's the type of wallet that I believe would have the biggest impact in the upcoming few years. After that, people would gain the knowledge about privacy and decentralization. After that, people would start understanding why it is important to have wallets that are not controlled by somebody. When that happens, solutions like this one would become SPV wallets. And then we will have truly good wallets. That's all for me. Bye bye.